Welcome to Boy Man Gets Paid. I'm your boy Xavier Gauthier. I'm here with my guys.
Alex Petrich.
Benjamin Butler.
Will Martin.
And this is another remake episode because technology. So we came back from winter break and we talked about some things which we will recover in this video. But since last week, some more updates have come our way.
In the past 2 days.
So do we want to talk about everything we talked about last week first, just like a quick synopsis?
Yeah.
And then talk about what happened the last few days?
Yeah, because we can stay on track with the main points of last week, which is obviously now. Everything's still pretty relevant. The only thing different is we'll get to.
Yeah.
I'll handle it.
Okay.
The thing that changed, I'll say it right now, is the power rankings, and they're a little more accurate. Thunder are not as good, like I said.
Been known.
Speaking of the Thunder, fuck Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey.
Yes.
That's
so
another main point.
Yeah. So last week we talked about the not exoneration, but Josh Giddey's Kitty trial and allegations were dropped. His case was closed, but the NBA is going to open up another investigation.
Almost immediately they did it.
Yeah.
Another L by the American judicial system.
Yeah. So, really, law enforcement. We didn't even get to the judicial system yet.
Yeah.
The
skill issues.
The police department of Daytona Beach, right?
It was Newport Beach.
Newport Beach.
Daytona Beach is Florida.
Yeah.
Newport's California.
Newport Beach police dropped the case, but the NBA reopened another investigation on Josh Giddey. But he's still getting playing time.
Yep.
Because I don't know.
Yeah, in that situation alone, we discussed how there's definitely some tomfoolery, some pulling of strings going on behind the scenes, whether it be the family, the police department.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody pulls some strings.
For it to be dropped just like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we will probably have more updates as the season progresses. But unfortunately, Josh Giddey is still able to play in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
What is this country coming to?
A country where we let domestic violence and rape and inappropriate minor affairs.
I can keep going.
Yeah, we can keep going.
But let's not.
But yeah, let's not. Let's focus on some basketball.
Let's talk about ball.
Yeah.
We talk about hoops.
Moving on. DJ DeJounte Murray of the Atlanta Hawks has been balling these past few weeks/months.
Yeah, they talk about trading his ass though.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of trade offers for DeJounte, and it's been so far the Lakers have expressed the most interest, from what it seems. The Lakers also just expressed interest in Trae Young today, but we'll get into that later. Which they're not getting Trae. There's no fucking way.
No.
I think they're thinking they can get a Trae and DJ deal, which would never fucking happen.
They have to give a lot, but that'd be great.
But
Trae Young.
Spurs, Lakers, Golden State, Sixers, Rockets, and another team I can't remember right now. I think the Nets have all expressed interest in DeJounte Murray.
Who would y'all even get from Golden State?
They probably would trade us Clay.
Clay or
Kuminga or Wiggins.
For DJ? Nah. if they trade us Wiggins, we would get Kuminga and Wiggins and picks for DJ.
Clay.
Yeah, that's probably
and probably Clay. Like DJ has definitely he hasn't been the star of the team, but I mean this is more information than we had like a week ago. He had 2 game winners back to back. Like his trade stock has gone up significantly. They have to give valuable pieces for DJ at this point. And I think he's been balling to prove that he deserves to stay on the team, for one.
Yeah.
And 2, if they do trade him, then he's worth more than some picks and some second string fucking players.
Do you think he wants to stay on Atlanta?
I think he does. He has not even entertained the thought of trades this whole time. And this has been like an ongoing conversation for like 3 weeks now. He hasn't even met with teams. He has not. His agent, I don't think, has spoken with anybody. All the reports that are coming through are just teams are interested in him.
There's been interest
but
since
he
the
hasn't showed
offseason.
any interest in any other team except for the Hawks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that I like. But yeah, DJ. What else did we talk about last week?
Trades that happened, and then even more trades, or one major trade today. Not major, but trades that happened, and then another trade today.
I think it may be a major trade.
Oh, Pascal.
Pascal.
So that's the one.
Pascal
that
to
one's
It's a
Indiana.
big
major.
trade.
That one's major.
It's a big trade.
The one today is, to me,
The one
it's-
today is the
Scary
one today. I think
Terry,
it's still
baby.
pretty. That's a pretty significant trade.
It's a good trade.
Terry Rozier was traded to the Miami Heat for Kyle Lowry and picks, right?
Yeah, first round pick.
One pick.
2027?
There was-
Yeah, 2027 first round pick.
Yeah.
And then what was the other insignificant one last week?
There was an insignificant trade last
Yes,
week.
there was
The
Pascal.
Bruce Brown trade.
Yes.
No, but that was in the
No,
that was in the
That was
Pascal
the
trade.
Siakam trade.
No, there was another
Yeah.
one. On everything.
Well, it was a 3-team trade because
That was the
New
Pascal
Orleans.
trade,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. That's what I'm saying.
There was another one. On everything.
There was another one.
My great auntie.
Let's see.
New York. Is that the one you're talking about?
Oh,
And
The
what
New
was it?
York Toronto.
Yes. Oh, yes.
RJ
Oh,
Barrett
that is
and-
not insignificant. That
yeah,
is.
yeah,
That was a few weeks ago.
That was a few weeks ago, but we
Yeah.
covered it last
covered
week.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it much better.
Yeah, and RJ Barrett was traded for OG Anunoby as
And
well as
Emmanuel Quickley.
Emmanuel Quickly. And some picks, I
And
think.
IQ goes crazy.
So yeah, I think that's all the trades out the way now.
As far as I know.
I wanna
Biggest
say-
one thus far is Pascal, right? I mean, when it comes to an impact thing. I
And
think.
Yeah.
somebody, there was a
And
report that
even
came out that
long-term.
said KD didn't want to be on the Suns, but I'm not sure how valid that is.
I
My
don't
buddy, who's a Sixers fan, thought he was getting him like a month ago. I was like, "Get out of my face! I hate
There's
you.
no
You're
way.
a Sixers fan, first of all, and
Yeah, no.
no, not my.
I don't think
precious-
there's any
not my
conceivable
precious
universe where the Sixers
snake.
get KD. If that had happened, it would have been like right after the Golden State run.
Yeah, he's like, "We're the favorite." I was like, "Stop talking to me."
So yeah, I guess we can move on to news for this week.
Adrian Griffin
Adrian Griffin.
out as coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Well-
They are second in the East, and they fire their coach.
Hire Doc Rivers and tank the rest of the season so the Hawks can get a playoff spot.
I mean, I think Doc Rivers. Well, the thing
It's
about Doc
hard to
Rivers, he's a great
tank
regular
with,
season coach.
Giannis on the team.
Just tell him to stop
and,
caring.
And Dame time.
Tell
I
him to
don't
stop
think,
caring.
I get it.
I don't think
get it.
Giannis liked Adrian Griffin.
Yes.
You think that's what it is?
I
Oh,
don't think he
100%.
liked him.
You think that's the whole reason why he got fired, or you think it was multiple things
No.
and that?
I mean, you look,
Because
at the,
Giannis is not LeBron.
you look at the
Yeah.
Bucks' record. I don't know how you rationalize firing Adrian Griffin. I know there have been rumblings about this for several weeks, but you're second in the East. You have two top 20 players in the NBA playing pretty well.
Is it still trending? Let me see.
I mean, Damian Lillard just scored a buzzer beater last week. Giannis has been having a Giannis season.
Yeah, it's still trending.
The only team that you're
What?
behind.
The Adrian Griffin?
No, they're 30 and 13 is trending. Just
Yeah,
that.
They're 30 and
30 and 13. The thing
It's
about
like number one trending for sports.
I don't know why teams keep giving Doc Rivers a chance when they know. Like,
that
look at
he's
Doc Rivers.
buns, dude.
Doc Rivers has not been a stellar postseason coach
No, not at all.
since Boston. In the late 2000s, early 2010s, when they were making runs to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they lost every time to either LeBron or Kobe. And then one time to Dwight Howard, but Kevin Garnett was injured. We'll clear that
It
out of the way now.
counts.
But like,
So
Doc-
you're saying Dwight Howard is better than Doc Rivers? Any lineup that Doc Rivers could provide is what you're saying.
Prime Dwight was
It's
good.
just-
Prime Dwight, man.
In the East.
It's
Prime
okay to
Dwight.
admit that, Alex.
Doc Rivers in
Hey, Prime Dwight was different. That man was on not one but two Disney XD shows when we were growing up.
3 DPOYs is what Alex was about to say.
I wasn't talking about fucking Disney, but you're right. You're fucking right.
I know
My
I'm
thing
right.
is, Doc Rivers in the 2010s did not have a particularly stellar coaching record.
Yeah.
And most famously, in the last few years, he blew a 3-run lead when he was with the Clippers in 2015, and then blows a 3-1 lead with the Clippers in 2020 in the bubble. And then they blow it to
Shout
the
out
Hawks.
2015,
They
the
blow it
Rockets
to the
team.
Hawks on multiple occasions in the 2021 playoffs that sent the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Are you talking about the Phillies?
When he was on the Sixers.
76ers?
When he was coaching
okay,
the Sixers.
Because you say Clippers and you never transitioned
Oh.
to yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
then
but-
when he went to Philly, that was probably Philly's best chance outside of like the Kawhi Leonard shot. in 2019. But
Shout out to the Kawhi Leonard shot.
Shout out.
they were, Doc Rivers it's what he's best at is blowing leads.
Yeah.
And every team he's been on has. There's a reason he was a color commentator for the NBA on ABC this year, man.
Yeah.
And now the Bucks are like, let's shoot ourselves in the foot and get Doc fucking Rivers. Like, you think the Bucks are winning the title?
My thing is specifically about that. This has nothing to do with Doc Rivers, but this just made me think of that. With that championship run that the Raptors had that year, beating Philly, what was that, Game 7?
Yeah. To clarify, he was Doc Rivers was not the coach of the Sixers at the time.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's the best chance for the Sixers.
Yeah. That's why I said unrelated to Doc Rivers necessarily, but related to the Sixers. I think that was the Sixers' best chance to get a chip that year. If Kawhi doesn't make that shot, including this year, if Kawhi doesn't make that shot, they get they win the finals.
They have to face Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference Finals if they do beat Toronto in that second round series.
Yeah, I think they do.
I think they do, and I think that they can hold their own against Golden State. That was a really good Sixers team.
Well,
and that was like during the fall off of that Golden State.
Yeah, I think any team coming out of the East would have beat Golden State that year just because Durant tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
Obviously, yes, if that was in place.
There's always that caveat on the 2019 title is that, Durant tore his Achilles in the finals.
Yeah.
But,
Braun would have just went back on the court.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Chill.
He's just built different.
Chill.
Kobe would have iced it and went back on the floor.
Everyone says if KD came back,
right,
they would have won
would've.
every game straight, and that's facts.
They would have swept. They would have swept.
They would have
Toronto
swept.
if KD was healthy.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to make that point. I think that was for sure Philly's best chance, and probably within the next few years even for them to win the chip.
Well,
I don't see them winning the chip this year. There's too much competition.
I mean, there's this fella on the Philadelphia 76ers named Joel Embiid,
fucking guy,
who just last night broke a Wilt Chamberlain record.
I'm not clapping for that.
Me neither.
I'm not either, but
Sixers fans are gonna gonna talk so much shit about how he's better than Jokic.
I gave in last night, and I was like, dude, I think I like him now.
I think his points
I
per
still
game.
hate him.
I think his points
Same.
per game average is going to be like 2019 Harden. He might break 2019 Harden's 36 a game.
Oh yeah, he will.
And he's not as much of a
He's had
foul
way too many
merchant.
50 games.
And you guys know me, I love a foul merchant, but the way he did it was even worse than Harden, and he's not as much of a foul merchant this year. He's really putting up the numbers.
Yeah.
He's really doing
Did
his
you just
thing.
say that Joel Embiid is not a foul merchant
As
this
much
year?
of a foul merchant as he was
Oh, he's
last
still
year.
one.
He is putting up generational foul merchant numbers right now.
I think I average is less than last year.
That man is out here
His free throws
collecting fouls.
His
like
free
it's
throws
the-
are down.
His free throws are down.
That man is still collecting fouls like
It's still
the
probably
bag.
like 12 to 14, but
What I will say is the discourse surrounding Joel Embiid, and last night, let's just say the number, 70?
70.
70.
70.
It was 70.
Trash.
Could have had more.
On Wemby's head.
Could have had
Had a
more.
lot of time.
Yeah, if they played him all of the fourth, he could have broke Kobe's record.
Do you think he went so hard because it was Wemby?
I
No.
think
He wouldn't have dropped 70 against the Hawks.
I think it
It's a
was just to
factor.
say, like, oh, because Jokic just beat Boston at home. How do I create a storyline for myself out of that?
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck it, I'm going to drop 70. Granted, it was on the San Antonio Spurs.
And it was on the same day that Kobe dropped 81.
Yeah, the league was weird last night.
Yeah.
We had a wild night in the league because Karl Anthony Towns scores 60 in a loss.
62.
44 at half.
44 at half. And
Once again,
And they sat him
could have
out
more.
in the fourth quarter when they should not have.
they benched his ass.
They benched him for no fucking reason.
Well,
Watching both of them
Wait,
score.
didn't they end up losing last night?
Yes.
too?
Yeah,
Ah.
and if they hadn't benched Cat, they probably would have won that game. They only lost by 3.
Who'd
From
they
what
lose to?
And he took a
Charlotte.
last-minute three-pointer.
To Charlotte.
What I will say is Chris Finch, after the game, was really not happy, and he said it was like an undisciplined, immature performance. From
By-
the Wolves, because they were just feeding Cat to try and get him more points instead of playing like a methodical brand of basketball.
Yeah.
And that's why Finch benched him. I would say, like,
But if you see that that's what your players are doing,
yeah.
as a coach, it's not your job to say, let me... I mean, it is and it isn't.
It's the coach's job to win the game.
Yeah. It's my thing is, if that's what your players have decided, we're going to make sure that our teammates set the record tonight. You as a coach should support that decision.
Yeah.
You shouldn't say, well, I need to regain control of this team because y'all are just doing whatever. No. Let that man get his record high, but also try and win the game. Because if you don't take Cat out the game last night, they win.
Anthony Edwards only had 5 last night
He only had 5.
because they were just feeding. But he finished with 11 assists because he was feeding Cat.
Do you think? I think one, you keep Cat in. Obviously, Cat gets more
last
points.
night.
He gets more points.
Ant had 9 last night.
Still.
Fine.
Still, it's under 10.
Yeah. Fucking Rudy had 13 last night.
Yeah.
Christ. Anyway, go.
You keep Cat in. Obviously, you keep feeding Cat. He keeps getting points. But at somewhere in there, I feel like Cat and Ant's chemistry is good enough that probably Ant makes more buckets in that time that Cat is sitting out. Somebody else on the court probably gets more buckets while Cat is sitting out. You know what I mean? Like, when you take the person who's the star player currently on the floor out of the game, it throws all of what you had and all your momentum out of whack. And I don't know. I feel like he fucked up by taking him out the game. That was an easy win for them also. Should have been. But when you're feeding Cat the whole game, I think it kind of overshadows that need to win.
I don't think it'll happen this year, simply because they're the 1 seed and they have a good shot as a contender. But
You think Ant gets traded?
no.
Oh.
I'm saying Cat gets traded.
Where's blood going
Really?
with this?
Oh yeah, you said something similar to this, like the first episode of the season. You said they keep Gobert and trade Cat.
Because Gobert's your defensive anchor, and you want to give Ant as many touches as possible so he can become the superstar we all think he can become.
Yeah. Do you think he can become that superstar in Milwaukee? Or, I mean, in Minnesota?
Milwaukee.
Yeah, he already looks kind of like MJ. So
He said it.
But do
Say
you
it
think
with
he
your
would do
chest,
better?
Alex.
Do you think he would live up to more of his potential on another team?
Yeah, I mean, I think,
Maybe I should word it that way.
I don't think it's a problem. Like, but are you saying like there's not enough ball to go around in Minnesota?
I'm
In
saying Karl
Minnesota.
Anthony Towns, despite his great regular season production, we saw this with Jimmy Butler when Jimmy Butler went to Minnesota that 1 year,
Yeah.
and he beat the starters with the bench and was like, "Y'all fucking need me."
I saw that interview the other day.
It is his most iconic moment with Minnesota.
The fucking Lou Will
Besides
podcast
LeBron
episode.
hitting the game
Yeah.
winner on him.
Yeah.
And he called Wiggins and Towns soft, and I forget what year it was.
They might be soft for real.
It was one of the years that Minnesota snuck into the play-in, because I know that we played them in the first round last year and we beat them in 5, but we ended up winning the title, the Nuggets. So, but one of the years before that, I think Towns is just one of those guys where I don't trust him in the playoffs. I trust Anthony Edwards in the playoffs if I'm a Minnesota fan.
Yes,
Trust Rudy Gobert.
already.
You trust Rudy Gobert more than Cat in the playoffs?
I would trust Rudy Gobert simply because I'm not asking Rudy Gobert to score 30.
That's fair.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's
Anthony
right.
Edwards in his one playoff appearance, was his first playoff appearance.
Yes.
Was inconsistent, but he had like one great game. He was consistent, but then he had one great game and one where it was like 11, not
Yeah.
even.
I will say this.
I think after this, he looks a lot more consistent,
He was
even in
he was
regular
consistent,
season.
all things considered, because in the 5 games there was 3 of them where it was consistent. It was probably averaging like 19, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then
A lot of those
I think
games were
regular
close.
season Ant is very consistent right now.
yeah,
Obviously,
He's great.
excluding last night because that's a whole that's a different scenario.
That was an anomaly.
But every other game damn near this season, Ant has like been the leader of the team, and he's put up the numbers that he's needed to put up to make sure that the Wolves can win,
Oh, no doubt.
regardless of Gobert, regardless of Cat, regardless of whoever.
He's
the
a
fuck
good
else
young
is on the
talent for them.
floor.
He is
Yeah.
the building block they need to
I think he
surround
looks a
themselves
lot
around.
better this season going into playoffs than he did last season.
The thing is with the Wolves, they're a bit cursed with their franchise cornerstones.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ant's the
Shout
best.
out KG.
Ant is the
Facts.
best chance that they've had in a very long time to
Since
see
KG.
a sustained period
Since
of success.
KG.
Since KG. Well, I'm thinking like
KG probably couldn't have gotten to the finals
we're
with the team that
forgetting-
he was on.
We're forgetting the other Kevin.
Oh,
What,
yes,
Kevin?
Love.
Love.
Oh, yeah.
Who, look, they weren't winning, but he was their like franchise cornerstone for
Yeah.
a couple years.
He was a big body.
He was.
That's when
Also-
they let Kevin Love actually play his position.
He did the reverse of
All
Shaq.
power forward,
When he
right?
got traded to a contender, he
And then when he
lost
played
weight.
with Braun in Cleveland, Braun made him play small forward.
I know, but like all of Minnesota's franchise cornerstones, Garnett spends was it 10 years? I think like it was damn near 10 years of his career in Minnesota, loyal to that team, gets traded, wins a title. Kevin Love puts up great numbers. They weren't winning, gets traded, wins a title.
Mm-hmm.
They have to choose now because they have 2 number 1 overall picks on that roster. One who's supposedly in his prime right now with Towns, and Anthony Edwards, who is still ascending as a superstar. Gun to your head, if you're the Wolves front office, who are you keeping?
Yeah, you're keeping Ant.
Ant all day.
Yeah. And I get that. Like, as an organization and as a franchise, you would want to keep Ant over. You would want to keep Ant over keeping Cat.
At one point, they also had Wiggins. He was a number 1 overall pick.
They had damn near 3 with D'Lo.
Yeah,
Who's number 2?
with D'Lo.
Yeah.
D'Lo wasn't
No,
it?
just like it was at a point in time, it was D'Lo and Edwards. Cat and damn near 3 number 1 picks.
As an organization, as the Timberwolves organization, it makes the most sense for you to keep Ant over Cat. But from the perspective of, as somebody who wants to see Ant become the next MJ,
I want to see it too.
I think he needs to go somewhere else for that to happen. I think the Timberwolves are a great place for him to get established and like really figure out who he is as a player.
Talking about Ant here?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
But I don't think that that's the place that he stays for him to win a championship, for him to be that face of the league. He needs to go somewhere else where he can really like be on a team with people who are really going to support him and make sure that he because I don't want Ant having to carry a team.
To be a superstar, you kind of have to.
I mean,
That's
not
how it
necessarily
works.
though. KD's a superstar. He didn't carry a team.
Chill.
He,
Pause.
in the past, he has carried some teams.
Those playoff runs. Though.
Which teams? Are you talking about the Thunder?
The Thunder.
Those playoff runs.
You're talking about the Thunder when he still had the big 3 with him?
Well, I mean, they lost in the finals, and then they traded
I
Harden,
don't
and
want
then
to
they
hear
have
shit
Russ.
about the Golden State
But, like,
runs.
He didn't carry the Warriors.
I don't want to hear. He didn't carry them, but he was by far the best player of the entire playoffs, every single one of their championships, including the one they lost in 2019.
Well, that was Jerry West's argument when they got him was think about how many open looks you're going to get.
Yeah.
And that's why he signed with the Warriors, because he was playing with Steph and Clay. Of course
Yeah.
he's going to average 35 in the
It was just
finals.
playing with
Yeah.
Steph. Fuck Clay.
Yeah.
Clay was good.
And Steph is good, but I
He
think
was still
that
one
when
half
you're
of
on
the
a
Splash
team,
Brothers.
Here's what I mean by carry a team. I mean, and this example is going to get run through the fucking ground just because of how much of an impact it made in the NBA. LeBron carrying the 2006
Yeah,
Cavs
it's always that.
to the fucking Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's carrying a team. You know what I mean? Like the Warriors run is not carrying a team because KD is a superstar with 3 other superstars on the floor.
Yeah.
That whole starting lineup is a team of all-stars. You know what I mean? Like,
And Andrew Bogut.
and Andrew Bogut.
Oh, Andrew.
And Andrew.
Hey, don't you forget Zaza Pachulia.
And Zaza Pachulia.
Fuck Zaza.
Fuck you.
But, like, that's my thing. I don't want Ant to have to go through that.
I mean, but like LeBron had
And
to
I'm not
do
saying
it.
he's doing that right now.
I know.
But
There will be a period of his career where he might
where he's going to have to do that if he stays with the Wolves.
because Kobe had to do it in the mid-2000s after Shaq left.
True. But, I mean, he had a decent team with him.
Smush Parker. Fucking
Shannon Brown.
Shannon Brown. Fucking Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown is gone. The City of Angels, Hollywood, just should be celebrated. Throw a parade already, whether you win a championship or not. This man was a bona fide scrub.
Yeah, no.
Jordan
Okay.
had to do it.
He had-
Jordan
I can see
had to
that.
carry
He had
teams.
2.
He did have to carry
legitimate
teams.
Number 1.
I mean-
pick busts on
Fucking
that team.
Wilt had to carry teams.
Well, no
But
shit. Wilt
did
had to
Jordan
carry
really have to
teams.
carry teams? How long was
Until Pitt.
Scotty and
Yeah.
fucking
Until Pitt.
Rodman, D-Rod were still there.
Well, Rodman didn't show up until the second three-peat. Before that, it was Horace Grant.
Yeah,
Who?
Horace Grant.
Who?
The fact that you are disrespecting
Hall
Horace
of-
Grant right now is
Hall of
crazy.
Famer?
He was good.
He was a great player.
But, like, Jordan,
Not me disrespecting me, legitimately knowing the least amount of ball out of the four
well,
of
like,
us.
you know, Jordan, before Pippen got there, when he was facing, like, the fucking Celtics in the playoffs, and he sets the playoff record with 67 points or 68, however many it was, on Larry Bird's head, but they still lose because that team was dog shit.
Yeah.
Quick epiphany I had when
Yeah.
you were talking about the team. Like,
Fun fact, Horace
Kobe's
Grant is
teammates.
not a fucking Hall of Famer.
He will be. Anyway, what were you saying, man?
Quick epiphany. When you mentioned like the Kobe teammates things, obviously we're listing like LeBron's, but did Kobe have 2 number 1 pick busts on that team with Adam Morrison and Kwame Brown.
Adam Morrison was on one of those
Yes,
teams.
he had. That's crazy.
Two
just
number one pick busts, yeah. And Braun just had washes on that
Yeah,
fucking
he
team.
had fucking Eric Snow and Wally Zerbiak.
Yeah, it was a horrible team.
The legend Big Z.
I'm trying to think who else has had to carry a
Wait,
team
which Big Z?
into the
Zadrunas
playoffs.
Ilgauskas.
I'm gonna say it, and you're not gonna like it.
I love Big Z.
Who?
But
Russ had to do it in
Russ.
2017.
but I was
Russ did do that in 2017.
Harden's first.
But I mean, what, they
2
got bounced
years-
out, the first round of the playoffs?
Harden's first 2 years, and Houston gets overlooked because the pickup after that with
true.
the big pickup
Yeah.
was Dwight in his 3rd year there.
And then you get Dame timed.
But those first
he was
two
balling
teams,
those first 2 years.
Those first
yeah.
2 teams, Pat Bev, Jeremy Lin, Chandler Parsons,
Damn, I forgot that.
Trevor
shit.
Ariza, who was the second best
I wouldn't
player.
call that carrying though.
I
You
mean,
got
and
you
then
got
you-
Chandler
then you
Parsons
mentioned-
and
quick.
Jeremy Lin, dog.
You got the shout out in earlier. Shout out 2015 Game 6. Josh Smith, and
the fucking Josh Smith.
Josh Smith and who am I blanking on? I had it earlier.
That was the one where you came back 3-1 against Doc Rivers and
Yes.
the Los Angeles
Yeah.
Clippers.
Yeah.
Dude, this is gonna bug me because I had it earlier and I didn't get the shout out in. They both went off in Game 6.
Corey Brewer.
Thank you.
Corey fucking
Corey
Brewer.
Brewer.
Yes, they just had
Holy
the best
shit.
Game 6 ever.
That's
Like,
a
they
deep
both-
cut. Corey Brewer,
They both
that
had,
name
like,
itself.
I think they probably had 23s combined. That
I
game.
remember
Like, no
Corey as a
bullshit.
nugget.
Just
Yeah.
both of them in
Corey
the
as a nugget.
corners. Just
No,
Speaking of Ant as well,
Yeah.
Ant could do the LeBron. He could leave. I mean, I think Minnesota would fucking hate him,
Yeah.
but he could leave.
they'd burn his jersey.
They'd burn the city down. It's,
Well,
but he could leave, go to another team, win a chip with some more young all-stars, the Hawks.
chill.
That's where
Your idea of him leaving, how soon does that happen?
I don't think it happens in the next 2 years or so.
Okay.
I think it has to be in between 3 and 5 years from now.
I think he'll make it to the finals, lose, and then go.
And then leave.
Yeah.
I think so as well. He could go win another team, win with another team.
I'm scared of him.
Maybe
as the defending
win
champs.
2 or 3 in a row with another team. He's that good
Yeah, he is that good.
if you put
Yeah.
him around the right people.
yeah. But
And then he can go back to Minnesota to finish his career there. That's always a possibility that I think people
Opposed to
don't think
KG.
about.
I was gonna
Only
say,
because
does he copy and paste the KG format?
yeah, but that's my thing is people always forget that players can leave the team that they got drafted by and then go back.
if Jokic ever left
If
this
that team is
I'm-
not benefiting that player should leave.
If Jokic ever left the Nuggets, I
wouldn't.
might
He
kill
wouldn't.
myself.
He wouldn't
It's
though.
a-
yeah.
I know.
It's a Lucas
I
situation.
couldn't
Dirk
see
or Tim
Jokic
Duncan.
going anywhere else in the NBA.
Yeah.
I can't see him fitting on any other team
He doesn't,
I'm
want,
whatsoever.
he doesn't want to go through that. As
No.
a person, he's just wants he's.
That's a whole lot of hassle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he likes to have an easy life.
He does. He likes his simple fucking life, and I love that man for it.
He'll go back to Mega Basket before he goes to another NBA team. That was
While we're on the
Actually, who?
while we're on the
Don't
the
you dare
leaf
disrespect
of,
PJ
Actually,
Dozier.
who?
international basketball.
Yeah.
Boogie
Boogie.
What? Oh, I don't know
Boogie.
where you're going with that.
Boogie with it.
dropped 10 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists in his first game with the Taiwan.
Oh no,
Oh.
he's not in Taiwan. He's in Puerto Rico.
He is.
Why'd they use a picture
He's
of Taiwan,
Taiwan.
then for that?
He is in Taiwan.
He's
now.
in Taiwan. Yeah.
Boogie is
Yeah.
in Taiwan.
I
swear.
was gonna say he was in Puerto Rico.
Taiwan Beer Leopards.
Yeah. Beer leopards. That's what they're fucking.
You're
That is a
shitting me.
fucking
That's-
great name.
Yeah, that's a
beer?
crazy name.
When the fuck did he?
yeah,
And, like,
beer.
leopards?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beer and leopards.
Beer leopards.
Cool.
So
I'm
drunk
with it.
leopards, I
Yeah,
guess.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
New Marvel superhero name just
All
dropped.
I'm saying, I know it's his first game back. I know. This could be too early.
He should be on an NBA roster.
He should.
He should be on an NBA roster.
Yeah, you're giving Mike Muscala minutes on the Pistons, bro. Send him to Washington, man. They need a fucking center.
Come
besides
on,
Dan
man.
Gafford.
Dan Gafford sucks ass.
You could send Boogie to
Boogie.
the Wizards. You could send him to the Pistons.
Hey,
you
now.
could send him
No,
probably
no.
to the Nets. You could send him. Shit, I'll even say it. You could send him to the Pelicans, and all of those teams will be better teams.
Second time around, he goes back to New Orleans.
Hey, look, man, we would welcome him with open arms. That man
Hey,
did
who would
amazing
you rather?
things
Who
for
would
our
you rather
city.
have on the Hawks, Clint or Boogie?
Boogie. Every
Why'd
day.
I know- why'd I
I'll
know
say
that?
I was like, there's
That's
no
almost-
hesitation with that.
That's almost a
What about
crazy
Dwight?
take.
Dwight's also just out there in the ether, floating in the
I would not mind Dwight coming back to Atlanta. Actually,
Dwight.
good times. Good times
He
and
was
bad.
not a bad Hawk at all. And I think that Dwight already knows what his role is supposed to be if he did come back, which is a benefit for us because then we don't have to spend half a fucking season figuring out what is your role and how do you fit into the lineup. Dwight already knows his role and he already knows how he's supposed to fit into the lineup.
And he can shoot threes now.
And he can shoot threes now.
That's a joke.
All right. What the fuck?
That's getting cut. Me and Alex made the same face.
Finally, a Will Martin cut moment. Let's go.
I'm just sad we're gonna have to. We don't have that clip from last episode where the time travel one.
The time travel one, I can
Okay.
probably scrounge it up somewhere.
Please, good God, no.
I could probably
We need
find
it.
it.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, don't disrespect Buddy Hield this weekend. Alex found out how big of a Buddy Hield fan I am.
Bro, he came over and was playing 2K. And fucking his lineup, who was it? It was Clay, Buddy Hield. Who was your third?
Oh, yeah, I play Blacktop.
Yeah, we were playing Blacktop.
I just pick all shooters.
I play a big man team.
I've done this my entire life. I pick all just 3-point specialists, and like he'll give me everyone does this. He'll give me open layups. I do not take them. I'll wait till someone comes over. I'll run back out and hit a fade, and it works.
It does.
Who won, Alex?
I did, but that's neither
It
here
was
nor
close. It was 18-21.
He was cooking my ass. I'm not gonna lie. He's great with that shit.
I definitely got to play you in Blacktop. I love playing Blacktop.
Me too. It's like the only thing.
I used to
still
play
do.
Blacktop with AD, Boogie, and
Rondo.
no, it was all bigs.
Oh, it was
No,
all-
that's a weak ass squad for real.
You're ahead.
I'm on your ass.
AD, Boogie, and I just really don't like Giannis, so I never played with Giannis. I would probably, like, if they gave me the option to, like, pick
Trey
throwback teams,
was the third.
it's Shaq.
Chat.
Shaq.
Shaq.
Oh,
I
Shaq.
said Shaq.
Not Chet, no.
I was about to say. I heard.
Fuck no. But,
I heard throwback.
Or
and then-
KG.
yeah.
and then Boogie and AD.
Boogie.
And that team eats every single time. Yeah.
Ben's gotta go.
This has been Boy Man Gets Paid, and I've been your boy, Xavier Gauthier,
Alex Petrich.
I'm Benjamin Butler.
And I'm Will Martin.
and we will catch you on the next one.